Hey guys, welcome to the show this week. We discussed Georgia's sloppy 37-20 win over Vanderbilt. Also, the unfortunate news of Brock Bowers getting an ankle injury this weekend and what that means for Georgia going forward. Also, we look at the updated college football rankings and Heisman predictions with AK from the Millie Goats podcast, brand new special guest. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share all those things. That'll really help us out.
Doing well, buddy. Ready to talk some football, man. We were just talking a second ago. We're looking at the schedule, and I'm like, wait a minute. There's only 5 games left.
Yeah,
No, that can't be.
that's right, man. We wait, count down the days in the summer and everything, and it just flies by. So yeah, it's come. I think we got 5 games left. So yeah, I can't believe it's past the halfway. And I think
Five
some of
big
the high
games,
schools,
man.
yeah, some of the high school games, man. I was thinking Georgia, they got like 2 games left, which is crazy.
Golly, man. Halloween's right around the corner. I mean, it's October, the best sports month. Football's in full swing. I mean, these games coming up right here, man. This is when you find out who's who here because you're deep in the conference games, and there's the top tier. And
Right.
then there's teams that kinda, hadn't been there before that are, Pac-12 is having a really good year too, so it's gonna be funny to see how it all shakes out.
It is for sure. Can't wait. I believe SEC is down a little bit this year.
Little bit,
Yeah.
I saw Kirby Smart came out and said all the teams should be ranked, and we got all over that. We said,
Oh yeah.
"Hold the phone here, man.
Yeah.
Come on now." Hey, you can't blame him for hyping it up, man. You can't blame him.
I agree, but the 2-5, 2-6 Vanderbilt, and the 2-5 Arkansas. Not sure if they should be ranked, but to each his own.
Yeah, the Arkansas has had a brutal schedule too. I saw a stat that they've had one of the toughest schedules in the country.
They are. It has been brutal. Yeah, they always seem the last couple of years have the brutal schedule. I'm not. They weren't kind to the scheduler there or the AD from Arkansas for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, jumping right into it. Georgia gets a 37-20 win over Vanderbilt. I'll say little sloppy. It got a little touch and go there. There was never in doubt, I thought, but getting the win. Carson Beck, though, to me looked kind of took a step back. He was 29 of 39, 261, one touchdown. Also had a costly fumble early in the second half. Got the running game going. I mean, almost ran for 300, 291 yards. Can't complain there. But the big news out of it was Brock Bowers going down with an ankle injury. High ankle sprain is looking like now, and update today from the MRI and everything looks like he's going to have that tightrope, kind of popular surgery. So 4 to 6 weeks. He hopefully he can heal from that. But I mean, I'm expecting maybe if we can have him back by maybe the SEC championship game or earlier. But definitely definitely a blow to our program, blow to the team. I know we're going to get maybe lost in
College
luster.
football, man.
Yeah, it is. This is why
College
you recruit.
football.
This is why you recruit 85. But yeah, but coming from a neutral fan, AK, what was your thoughts on the game with Vanderbilt? It was 12 o'clock game. Also, they were getting ready in a tent with that reconstruction. It's hard to get guys up in Nashville for an 11 a.m. kick. So, what was your thoughts on the game?
Man, do they still have that hanging scoreboard by the 2 cranes in Vanderbilt? I didn't is
Also, another one real quick. If you watched it, they had the B crew for the production, man. The way the camera was set up, it was like coming straight at you. They had a couple angles. The guy was throwing the ball down the field. Looks like something on one of those local TV channels. It was like the B crew out and just
Yeah.
bad camera angles. So
It
anyway,
that was weird, man. I mean,
that's-
it's you really wanna see Carson Beck. I mean, that's the big question. I mean, I was looking at the stats from this game, I'm like, "Man, they ran the ball all over them." I mean, you're talking what, that dude had 146, and then the total yards was for the rushing game was all like you said, almost 300. And I mean, and against a team like Vanderbilt, no offense, Vanderbilt,
oh yeah,
right? But I mean, that's how you have to do it against them. I mean, yeah, Beck maybe didn't look as great, but I mean, if you're Georgia, you just lean on that running game, lean on your playmakers. It was a shame to see Bowers go out, man. That was you never want to see that as a college football fan because that dude had a legitimate case for Heisman.
He did.
So, I don't know what to make of Vanderbilt. I'm not sure, but I mean, it's to go on the road in October anywhere. I mean, we've seen Ohio State go on the road to Purdue multiple times and lose a big game there. So, I mean, you're talking getting to 7-0. It doesn't matter how you do it. 7-0. Georgia's got the 24 game winning streak, all that stuff going on. So, they're going to get what they deserve right now. They keep winning these games on the road in the SEC. It'll be it's a good win. I mean, I'm not watching it from a fan's perspective like a Georgia's fan. I'm I'm on the outside looking in. I'm a guy who wants to see chaos all over college football.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but getting the win, all in all, we kind of gutted it out. A little sloppy. I think if you came back and took those turnovers away, and we had a couple of fumbles that were almost turnovers. I believe we had the Mekhi Mills had a fumble on one of the punts. Got another one where our center scooped it up and got a 6-yard game. So got to clean that up. Bye week's coming, so we'll have a lot of guys that can step up. But with the Bowers blow, but these next, we're going to go through a little gauntlet coming up. We'll have Florida, Missouri, Ole Miss is going to be tough, and at Tennessee, and then Georgia Tech. So we'll have to scheme up some things. But I'm glad we got a bye week. After all this Brock Bowers news, it's a good be a good time to have an adult beverage with Viva Tequila Seltzer. That's our great sponsor again. Viva Tequila Seltzer. One of my personal favorites is the watermelon, great for tailgates. So and Viva Tequila Seltzer. So our for 20% off is Doghouse 20. So again, that's for 20% off Doghouse 20. So that would be a great beverage, especially with the Brock Bauer news. And
Mm, look at
jumping
that,
into
dude.
it,
That's some good looking stuff.
yeah, man, it's a tasty beverage. Got a little tequila in it. Got 0 carbs, 0 sugar. So yeah, it's good stuff.
There you go. There you go, man.
Yeah, man.
Celebrate.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then talk about one of the slated games since Georgia's off this week. We got Penn State versus Ohio State's game day. Big Ten matchup. Want to get your thoughts on that? Maybe get a prediction. Believe the
Woo.
believe the point spread is I think they're 4.5 points. But I want to get your thoughts
Mm.
on that. Is that and it is at the shoe, I believe.
Yes, it is. Um, this thing right here, dude. I got a bone to pick
Sure.
with Penn State. Okay, you can't pull out the whiteout game in September. They did it way too early.
Yeah.
You can't be having the whiteout that early in the season when you got Michigan left to play, you got Penn State left to play, you got some of these teams in the Big Ten, dude. You can't be pulling out the stops that early. I mean, we've got our own playoff model here that we've been running by. Vanderbilt was in it earlier, so couple weeks ago when they were like 2-0, so that didn't work, and our playoff model keeps getting in shambles. So this game right here for us in our top four is a play-in game.
Okay.
So the big question is James Franklin, right? All of his nonsense. Here's a little stat for you: 2-11 on the road versus top 25 teams for James Franklin.
Wow.
0-9 on the road against top 10 teams. 1-8 versus Ohio State. 1-11 versus top 5 teams.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, this is it for Penn State as far as I'm concerned. If he loses this game, if they lose this game, now they've looked good. That quarterback they got, I can't even what's his name. Uh, I don't know whatever his name is, but he's
Alar?
yeah. There you go, Alar.
Yeah.
It's like it's Holler or
Alar,
Aller or
yeah.
something.
Got 12
Is he
touchdowns. Yeah.
is he has he turned the ball over yet?
Let's see. I'll check on that.
'Cause
12 touchdowns, 0 picks. Really
yeah.
good.
So now their schedule, has been okay. They had a good win against they had West Virginia, not bad, Delaware, Illinois, Iowa. I mean, Iowa scored 0 points. Who's shocked by that?
Right.
Northwestern, UMass. So I mean, they're ranked seventh, but I mean that's not a lot of competition there. So Ohio State's of course got the win over Notre Dame.
Yep.
Notre Dame, by the way, had a gauntlet schedule. My goodness, they played 4 night games ranked in a row.
Oh yeah.
But Penn State, this is their real kind of, Iowa's got a good defense. They torched them. So I don't know. This is for me, same thing with Ohio State. We got these two new quarterbacks. I don't know who to trust, you
Right.
know. So I would imagine Ohio State wins this game. And it's just normally I'd be like, oh, Penn State, I want to see them win just because I want to see a new team in the college football playoff. But like you said, it's at the shoe. I
Hmm.
mean, I guess I trust Ohio State and Ryan Day more than I do James Franklin with all those numbers we just rattled off
Yeah.
about him on the road.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I will agree. Penn State is coming in. I was looking at these stats here. Looks like really good against the rush, 72 points, or I'm 70 yards a game for Penn State, putting up some great numbers. This will be Ohio State's probably big test. Notre Dame does have two losses now. Brutal schedule, by the way. But I'm probably going to
Yeah.
have to go like 28-24 Ohio State. Here's the reason is you got Marvin Harrison Jr., probably one of the best
Mm.
wideout. They're at home. Ohio State has played a lot better defense last year. They were kind of little tissue soft. I know Ryan Day, he doesn't like being
Mm.
called soft, calling out
Don't tell Lou Holtz.
calling out the old man, 86-year-old man for some reason. But yeah, but I'm gonna have to go here a close one. Also, wish this was maybe a night game. I know they got the big game, a big noon game there, 12 o'clock game. But I'm gonna have to go with
Yeah.
Ohio State in a close one. Not sure about the 4.5 points for if you're a betting man, but I'm gonna go like 28-24, close one for with Ohio State. Also, want to
Golly,
make a
they've only given up 10 points a game.
I know, but this might be defensive
Wow.
struggle. This might be come down to field goals and turnovers.
You're not kidding there. And I mean, you give the advantage there to Penn State.
Yep.
So I don't mean to cut you off, but holy moly.
Yep. Also, I wanted to make this our Viva Tequila giveaway. We'll send you a free case of the Viva Tequila assorted pack if you get the closest score prediction. You can comment in that below. I know I was a little late on that. We did a little plug on that earlier. But anyway, this will be our score prediction giveaway. We did a couple of those earlier in the year for the Penn State Ohio State game. I'll go ahead and make mine. Of course, 28-24. And AK, if you want to make a prediction, you get close enough, man. We'll
Ooh,
send you a case of the Viva Tequila over here.
ooh. I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be a 31-24 type game. I think Ohio State wins. I think
Okay.
everything
Yeah.
says it should be low scoring, but
Right.
I mean, we'll see.
Exactly. I can definitely see that. And then looking at the other slate of games in college
Mhm.
football, also wanted to ask you this because to me, there's not a juggernaut this year. Even being a Georgia fan, like we've looked sloppy in our games. There's not that like team that's blasting everybody. Washington's looking better. What's maybe your top four or top five currently, and maybe playoffs as of week 8 coming up?
Well, I mean, we have our model, right?
Right. Oh, nice. You got your own model, man.
I
That's great.
we could we could read that one off, but we basically it's satirical, of course. But we love the group of 5 teams. I mean, we just love college football. I
Right.
mean, if you're looking at that, it's hard to not put Georgia and Michigan at 1 and 2,
Oh
Ohio
yeah.
State 4. I mean, those the top 5 is what it is. I mean, it's hard to say anything. Oh,
Right.
or the top 6, I should say. I mean, Oklahoma's because everybody was all over Texas, man. I
They
mean,
are.
everybody was crowning Texas as they're deep up front, they're rotating guys in on the defensive side of the ball, so on and so forth. And then Oklahoma went in there and took it to them, and nobody expected that. So you gotta give Oklahoma, and Washington had that great win. I mean, if I had to go, here's ours as it stands for us right now. We've got uh, Oklahoma, UNC, Air Force, Liberty in our top 4, and then Georgia and Washington in our 5 and 6, and Ohio State, Penn State going to play a playing game. So that's
Okay.
our kind of satirical model. But I wouldn't keep it. I'd keep all that the same 1 through 8 there, 1 through 7. I mean, you're talking. It's all going to shake itself out here soon. The Texas Oklahoma game in the Big 12 is going to. They both make it to the Big 12 championship, which Iowa State I think is sitting in second right now there. But
Yeah.
I would keep it the same. I don't think. I mean, you can't not put Georgia at 1. You can't not put Michigan at 2. I mean, until they falter,
Yeah.
and I'm not really concerned about all the game control and all these ridiculous metrics that playoff committee uses.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if they're winning, it doesn't matter. And this year, especially because there's too much parity. I mean, this would be the year for a 12-team playoff, like
Right. Yep.
because you don't know, nobody knows, right?
Exactly. Completely agree. I think with Michigan, like they've been blasting people, like you're only playing who they are, but they haven't really played a pulse yet. And I think looking at it, they don't play an actual ranked team or anything until November. So you can pretty much probably plug them in there. But then it's like Penn State, forget who it is, in Ohio State. So they got a little 2 out of 3 that are tough, but they don't play anybody till then. I think they got one of the probably bottom 10 weakest schedules, which as a Georgia fan, ours has been weak too. Like our best win so far was Kentucky, but hey, Missouri blew them out or walked on them
Hmm.
this past weekend, so can't really say
Well, I
much.
mean, that's what you're seeing in these. I mean, like you don't think the coaches and the programs know, like, hey, we're going to schedule maybe one tough out of conference, but the most of them are going to be,
Yeah,
playing the Sun Belt or a MAC team or maybe even an FCS team. I mean, they know what they're doing. I mean, it's everybody's doing it. I mean, I think James Franklin even said that. Did you
yeah,
Michigan, by the way, runs the slowest offense, like time per play in the country. I think I saw that stat the other day. It's like
right.
so they take their time running their offense. And
They did.
that's kind of classic of a Jim Harbaugh coach team. But I want to give a quick shout out to I don't know if you watched the Air Force game the other
I did,
night.
I did not.
Oh my gosh, man, they were playing Wyoming and it was so much fun. It was if you like football and you love the option,
Yeah,
like
oh yeah.
you love that triple option, dude.
Yeah.
They run it to a T, man. They shout out to Air Force 6-0 for the first time since 2002. You gotta love it, man.
That's awesome, man. I know that.
Yeah.
6-0, man. Yeah, great. Good for them. What did they get to play like Army or Navy? Because I figured that would be just triple option
I
fest.
I can't remember when, but I think it's the Commander in Chief trophy or something that they all the best service academy football team wins that trophy every year. And I think Air Force is one of the most, but I think it's been dominated by Army and Navy the past few years because I think they all play each other eventually throughout the year.
Yeah, actually, speaking
So,
of the devil, 21st. I didn't know that they actually play at Navy. Looking at the schedule here at Navy on the 21st. So that's
woo!
Saturday. There you go. Noon game.
Yes.
There you go, man.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I
Man,
like it.
I
Hey,
don't even know who to root for in that game. When you watch.
yeah, anytime the military guys, because it's so hard to recruit, man, you got to respect them. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 6-0, man. That's
One of
great.
my
Yeah,
favorite games.
ranked 22nd in the AP poll. Nice, man.
We've been screaming rank Air Force for like 3 weeks now.
I got you. That's awesome. Yeah, man. I wanted to ask a little bit because I know you played at App State. I'll throw mine a little out here. So I was a walk on at Georgia Southern 2020 or 2000,
Oh,
2001, 2002, and you were talking about the triple option. So I was the third or fourth string white dude trying to run the
were you
triple option.
Adrian
I was
Peterson?
I was better at
Adrian
pro.
Peterson was there.
Oh yeah, I actually handed it off to him. Dude, big back. Played a little bit in the league.
Yes,
I can say I handed it off to him in practice a little bit. That's my little. But yeah, dude was a beast. Didn't talk a
he
lot, but
was.
he'd run. Remember that the run back in the day against Youngtown State? If you remember that, great man, stiff arm people, beast.
I was just gonna say he has one of my favorite highlights of all time was that Youngstown State run. And it's if you haven't looked that up, not Adrian Peterson, Oklahoma, Adrian Peterson, Georgia. So that guy was a stud too. But go look up Adrian Peterson versus Youngstown State. That's one of it's like the Marshawn Lynch Beastquake is what it
Yeah,
was similar to. I
yeah,
mean, he
it
was
was.
just throwing dudes around. But yeah, they, they uh, he got drafted by the Bears. I think is where he went
He
initially.
did, yeah.
But yeah, man, App State, Georgia Southern, big time rivalry. I mean, whenever we were talking before the show, I was like, man, Georgia Southern. That was always a fun place to play,
Yeah.
but man, you're those fans down there, dude, Statesboro, they would let us have it. We didn't win there for like 10 years. I mean, whenever I was playing, the last time we had won there was like Um, it had to be in the 90s
Wow.
because the first time we had won there was like '07 or '08, and it had been 10 years. So, it was a double overtime game when we won. So every time we play, and dude, every time we play Georgia Southern, whether it's now, today, and 20 years ago, and 10 years ago, whenever I was there, or whatever, um, it's a dogfight, dude. So they
It is,
they
yeah.
have ruined so many of our perfect seasons over the last like 15 years. It's unbelievable. It doesn't
Yep.
matter what the record is.
Yeah.
Georgia Southern always.
Yep. Just throw the record books out.
Man. But yeah, that was anyway, yeah, I mean, App State was a lot of fun, man. I was there at a really special time. Like, um, I grew up there. My parents went there. My brothers went there. My sister went there. Like my whole family went there. So to be able to go there as a kid, watch the game, and then have the opportunity to play there on that field was pretty cool. And then be a part of one of the greatest runs in college football history was a pretty special time. One of the other guys on our show
Yeah.
was a kicker there too. So Javi. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was those 3 natties in a row, and then the win over Michigan, and it's been a fun last couple of years, or last 10 years, 15 years or something for App State.
That's awesome, man. What else? So what'd you play there? What was your position?
So I went there as a punter. I was a quarterback in high school. I went there as a punter. Turns out 2 of the guys I lost my job to punted in the NFL.
Oh,
So I ended up doing I ended up going and playing a little bit of special teams. I long snapped in a game, or a couple games, played special teams, started a few games there, and then got moved around in the spring. In the off season, Coach Moore would put me, he'd be like, "Hey, I want you to go play DB this spring," or "Hey, I want you to go play quarterback this spring." Obviously I didn't play quarterback because Armani Edwards was there, but
right.
I was in there as kind of a emergency reserve quarterback if needed, and emergency reserve safety if needed. So, but yeah, started a few games in a couple of different positions.
That's awesome, man.
My
Like
first start,
utility guy. That's great.
yeah, my first start actually was in Georgia Southern. I
Oh,
had, I
nice.
had 2 punts. I had 2 punts that game, down inside, both of them inside the 10. So
So you
you're
you
basically,
actually on the team or on the legendary the Michigan win?
mm-hmm. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah.
Tell us about like maybe tell us like story from the game or tell us like halftime speech or like the reaction, man, because that was probably one of the biggest upsets. That was great.
Yeah, dude. So when we went up there, first of all, you go out there and you drive up to the stadium, and you're like, is this it? Because it's built down in the ground. I mean, if people are watching this, they don't know about Michigan. It's not a very daunting stadium like LSU was,
Right.
or Tennessee is, where it's way up and it looks like this you know Greek stadium, this Coliseum. It's down in there, so when you walk in there, you're like, well, this is weird. Then you get out there, and it's a sea of seats, and it's crazy. And so when we took the kickoff, or we went to the coin toss, and you watch our guys walk out there, and across from them is Jake Long, Chad Henne, Mike Hart, Sean Crable, Mario Manningham. Our guys are looking up at him like this. It was just funny. But there was a play early on. Dexter Jackson took a slant route. I mean, right up the hashes, and he torched everybody. And everybody on our sideline was like, "These dudes can't run with us. Like, we are faster than they are." And so it was a dogfight. I remember we were up by like 10 at half, 10 or 11 at half, and we had just missed a touchdown to go up by 3 scores at half. And so we went into the halftime, and Coach Moore gathered us all around. He goes, "Now look, you're going to get the best shot the Big Ten has ever given anyone this next 30 minutes. And it's up to you to kind of finish the job." And so we went out there, and I mean, they took it to us. I mean, people forget, they kind of crammed it down our throats with Mike Hart in the second half, and they ended up going up late with like a minute to go. So they were up 32-31. We had a little over a minute to go on our money tips right down the field. And then obviously Julian kicked the field goal, put us up 34-32. They got a pass interference on their next possession to get them all the way down inside like the 20. And when we blocked that kick, you could hear the crowd just suck the air right out of the building, and all you could hear was our fans. Coolest thing was whenever we got done, there were Michigan fans, thousands of them lined up outside our locker room asking for autographs and having a signed thing. So we stayed there for a while doing that. We
That's
flew
awesome.
into Johnson City, Tennessee, whenever we left. I mean, my phone was ringing, it was dying. My phone died. We were getting calls and messages. The campus is on fire. They've ripped down the goalposts. There's nothing left in the stadium. Da 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 da. You know. And
Yeah.
when we got to Johnson City, there was a couple hundred people there. When we drove from Johnson City back to Boone, all along the sides of the roads from Banner Elk all the way down to Boone and up to the campus, there were people all on the side of the road. We had escorts, we had everything. We got back to Stadium Drive. There was probably 10,000 people in the parking lot.
Wow.
Students were going nuts, man. It was insane. Insane. And the coolest thing is most everybody when we talk about this is they know where they were when that game happened.
Right.
It's the coolest thing is everybody's like, dude, I was out mowing my yard and I saw the score and I ran in to watch the end of the game, you know. And
Right.
that's the coolest part, you know, like it was so monumental. And for me, being an App State kid since I was my son's age, like 4 or 5 years old, to be a part of that was unbelievable.
That's awesome, man. Very surreal.
So
Thanks for sharing that. It's great. Yeah, I remember watching the highlights reel for that. I was like, wow, that was crazy. App State, talking town. Yeah, a couple good friends here in Charlotte, they went to App State, and I always talk about that game. That's awesome.
mm,
And then real quick,
then we beat
what? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say then we beat Texas A&M like last year, I
Oh
think.
yeah, yeah.
They were
Game.
ranked top 5 or 6 or
Then
7.
you got game day, man. Game day in Boone was great, man. That was a good put you on the map again.
Yeah, here
Um,
comes.
yeah, real quick, I want to get your Heisman, maybe your Heisman 3 or 4 guys. I feel like Caleb Williams was a leader. He won it last year, but him with the 3 picks against Notre Dame. So I wanted to see what your thoughts. Brock
Mm,
Bowers is out now, I think, with the injury. Kind of wide open.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to look at Michael Penix.
Yeah.
He's having a whale of a year. Um, it's just in a weird space, man. You're not getting these dudes who run the ball, you know, for over 1,000, over 1,500 yards, things like that. You're getting more wide receivers and dude, I'm telling you right now, put that dude from Stanford in there, the receiver. My
Oh, yeah,
goodness, from the other night, put that guy in there.
yeah, oh yeah,
300 yards or whatever he had. But I would definitely say Penix for sure is up there. Bo Nix, yeah. And Brock Bowers should have been up there before he got hurt. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that guy is we're gonna find out how valuable he really is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I mean I would rank kind of those three up there as far as Heisman. I mean, who do you have up there?
I definitely go with the Michael Penix. I think took over. Like Caleb Williams was kind of trending, but they don't like having back to back guys. He got it last year, but that 3 picks against Notre Dame and you got blown out. I think that kind of takes them out. But I think the Michael Penix having a big win against top 10 Oregon, who had a top 10 defense. I think he's trending. He's trending up. He's got some tough defenses. He's got to go. I think he's got to go against Utah. I think he does play USC. So yeah, he'll have some spotlight, but I believe he's the leader in the clubhouse currently.
Mm. He slings it, dude. He throws a pretty good ball. I mean, he took him right down the field. You know, whenever they needed him. So that was I don't know if you'd call that a Heisman moment, but
Yeah,
he's a player and he throws a good ball. So
he does.
um, but yeah, I mean it's gonna be fun to see what happens. The Caleb Williams thing, man, he just did not look good the other night. I mean, I've been watching them kind of late, they're on late night, so I watch them after the kids go to bed and stuff. Man, I just I don't know.
Yeah,
I They need to put that receiver from Florida State up there, right?
yeah, he's killing it too. Yeah, he is.
What's his name? I can't remember what his name is. They got the quarterback up there as the rankings, but I think golly, I can't. He's number 4. I can't remember what his name is, but
Right. I know you're talking about. I can't remember either. Yeah, he's having a great year.
Coleman. Is that his name?
Okay, yeah.
Coleman. Who it is. But anyways, but yeah, the Caleb Williams thing. He's just, I don't know. He's trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Run around all around, off back, everything that everybody wants to talk about. The greatest prospect we've ever seen. Let's hold on now.
All right.
Come on. I don't know about that. So,
Right.
anyways.
Yeah, man. I want to give a shout out to. I know you're part of the Millie Goats with your buddies. Want to give you a shout out how to follow you guys on the socials and where platforms you guys are on.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, man. We're the Millie Goats. We're at Millie Goats. We're on Instagram at the Millie Goats, YouTube, Rumble, the Millie Goats. Our website, milliegoats.godaddysites.com. I mean, we're a bunch of former college football players. Two of us played at App State. One of us played at junior college. One of us played at Division III. And we basically talk football for the most part in a satirical sense. You heard our you you heard our bracket, our college football playoff bracket. We try to put a different spin on it. We play DraftKings, so we do a lot of contests and things like that. Nothing serious. I mean, it's we love watching football. We're all competitive, so it's basically us saying, man, what's better than talking football with your friends and trying to make people laugh about it. It's at the end of the day, it's all sports, and we love our teams to win, but some of this stuff is funny, man, and we try to bring that angle of it to the sport and to the broadcasting world.
Yeah, man.
So we got all kinds of nonsense we do on our shows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was listening to your most recent one, man. You guys have good chemistry there, good connection. It's good to, kind of talking with your buddies, just having good conversation. It's great.
that's the biggest compliment someone is like, I feel like I'm just hanging out with you guys. I'm like, oh, that's how we wanted. It was just like, hey, we do how they're used, and we do hang the banners, all kinds of segments, water cooler debate, where we just pick a random question. And it's a lot of fun, man. I mean, I appreciate you giving us the opportunity on here to talk some college football. Um, we love it, man. We respect what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, man.
I listen to the show, and I'm happy to be on here. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say it.
yeah, man. Appreciate you giving me some time today. Also, real quick, how did the Millie Goats name come about? And make sure and follow those guys Instagram. They're on X, YouTube, the Millie Goats podcast. Make sure and follow them. But yeah, I just want to get the name real quick. Interesting name.
The- I'm sure everybody has this, right? I'm sure you do too. You got guys you played with, buddies you grew up with, and you have a group message, correct? So the group message is going all the time, and the whole time we're just throwing one liners out. The jokes are, we're throwing back and forth like names of what we would call it. And one of the guys' nickname is Billy, and he called himself the Billy Goat. And then the big prize DraftKings is the Millie. $1 million to get the right lineup. So Billy Goats, the Billy Goats. So we were just messing around basically, and just kind of ridiculous satirical banter. I'm sure you have. But it's a play on, Ghost is like greatest of all time. Millie Ghost, Billy Ghost, Millie Maker, like it combines all those things into one. So
That's awesome, man. Great story.
we also have an on apparel thing at www.rae.live, where we have a bunch of ridiculous shirts. If you ever want a shirt, if you have an idea of a shirt, let us know. We got our hat up there. It's called Big Third Down. Every third down is a big third down. Many times you watch the game and you say, "Big third down coming up here."
Oh yeah, that's great. I like it.
So we have a hat that just says "Big Third Down."
Yeah, that's awesome. I've said that a ton. That's great.
You
Yeah,
know it, dude. You're watching the game and you
I do.
elbow somebody,
Big
your
third
your
down right here.
girlfriend or
Yeah.
your whoever. You're like, big third down here.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Oh man.
All right, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on today. And if everyone's still around, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the podcast, Doghouse Podcast, and check out the Millie Goats. But it was a pleasure having you on, AK.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Good luck. Good luck to Georgia. Let's see what the SEC's got. They had a rough start to the year, but let's see
They
what
do.
they got. Come on
We'll
now.
see. We'll see, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
All right, buddy. Go Dogs.